Dr. Daniel Ngamije, Director of the Global Malaria Program, stressed the urgent need to enhance efforts in combating malaria. He pointed out that malaria is a curable illness and that countries can realistically achieve their goals of eradicating it. He made the remarks on Thursday during World Malaria Day, coinciding with Rwanda's hosting of the 8th Multilateral Initiative on Malaria. Olive Nete has a report.
During World Malaria Day, activities aimed to both acknowledge progress made in combating malaria and recognize the ongoing challenges. Despite achievements, there is a shared commitment to intensify efforts to ensure malaria-free lives for all. Health institutions highlighted the increasing danger of malaria, particularly to children in sub-Saharan Africa. Shockingly, a child dies from malaria every minute worldwide, with those under the age of 5 being most vulnerable. Health practitioners stress the importance of coordinated efforts to prevent further loss of lives, especially among children.
Malaria has been a scourge in Africa for so many years. It is a major public health problem across many African countries. And now we are at a stage where we are no longer seeing progress in the reduction of malaria. So we need to do things differently. Now we have new types of tools. We also know that over the years, vector control has been the major tool, the major interventions that have brought down malaria cases. So we need new innovations in vector control that can target some of the threats, such as insecticide resistance. We also have threats of Anopheles stephensi, so we need new tools that can target Anopheles stephensi. So I know that with enough investments in vector control, we can have substantial reductions in malaria. But apart from vector control, there are other groundbreaking interventions that are out, like we have a new vaccine, we have chemo prevention, we have seasonal malaria chemo prevention, we also have perennial malaria chemo prevention, and we also have tools around gene drives where we can actually achieve substantial reductions in vector populations. So, but apart from all these tools, we also need strong political will and strong engagement from malaria endemic communities to make sure that people are using the tools appropriately, to make sure that they're accepted, and that way we can overall as a community drive malaria towards elimination. I know that it's possible in our time. We just need a lot more commitment and the right investment, the right tools being deployed in the right places.
Rwanda has shared successful strategies in the fight against malaria, resulting in a remarkable 90% reduction in malaria cases. Through the collaboration of community health workers, the number of malaria cases in Rwanda dropped from 8,000 in 2016 to just 1,300 in 2023. This achievement underscores Rwanda's commitment to combating malaria effectively. The theme for this year's World Malaria Day in Rwanda emphasizes individual responsibility, highlighting that eradicating malaria begins with each person's actions. According to the World Health Organization, globally in 2022, there were an estimated 249 million malaria cases and more than 600,000 malaria deaths. 94% of malaria cases and 95% of malaria deaths are in the African region. In 2022, 4 out of 5 people were children under the age of 5. Children under 5 years of age accounted for about 78% of all malaria deaths in the region. Children under the age of 5 are especially vulnerable to malaria due to their developing immune systems. Severe malaria symptoms in children can even result into coma as the disease affects the brain. Without prompt intervention, the consequences can be dire, potentially resulting in loss of life. Early detection and treatment are critical to preventing such outcomes. Dr. Daniel Ngamije, Director of the Global Malaria Program, stressed the urgent need to enhance efforts in combating malaria.
I think it was recalled progress made so far since 2000, with so many lives saved, so many cases averted, and of course it was mentioned that unfortunately, for the last 10 years or 7 years, the progress has stalled. And the progress has stalled to the point that we are off track regarding global technical strategy targets by 50% at least. And if the trend continues like this, we'll be off track by 2030 around 80%, which means we will not reach global technical strategy as agreed by member states in 2015. So we need to accelerate our fight against malaria because the disease remains preventable, the disease remains curable, and unfortunately, it kills. There are some best practices which were shared, the one in Rwanda, but also in other countries, which means, but we have also opportunities. Among those opportunities is new vector control tools. These new tools, and we have a list of more than 20 countries who submitted, who expressed the intention to have vaccine, and their dossier have been reviewed and approved by Gavi. It's a matter of plan to get vaccine and introduce.
The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health emphasized the importance of global cooperation in the fight against malaria. He stressed that it is imperative to join prevention efforts and ensure timely treatment for those at risk of malaria. He also noted that every individual vulnerable to the disease should receive care and treatment without delay. Olive Nete, RTV News.